Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a 3-in-1. There are going to be 2 makeup tutorials and 1 hair tutorial, all inspired by Ruth, who is a character from The Longest Ride, which is a new film coming out this week. I was asked if I wanted to go and see the film early and if I liked it, do some kind of promotional video for the release, and you guys know I love myself a gooey love story, and I'm also a big fan of the 2 main women in it, so of course I said yes. I saw the film and I loved it, and I'm more than happy to recommend it to you guys, so I'll leave a link to the trailer down below if you're interested, and if you're interested to see how I achieve these looks and this hairstyle, then keep on watching. For the first look, I really wanted to go off of Ruth's look in the film, which was very basic and very sweet. So for the skin, I wanted to keep it quite natural looking, so we're not going with super heavy coverage today. To begin with, I started by mixing a smoothing primer and an illuminating primer together to give the skin a nice healthy glow. And then to brighten up around the eyes and cancel out some of those dark colours under there, I went in with an under eye corrector to begin with. Next, I applied a CC cream all over the face. CC creams, BB creams, tinted moisturisers are always a good option when you're wanting the skin to look nice and natural and hydrated and slightly dewy looking. For some reason, the one I'm using looks really dark and yellow as I'm watching this footage back, but it looks fine by the end, so just bear with it. It's one of my favourite face products. I'm going to do a little bit of spot concealing, but more to just cancel out the redness instead of covering them completely, because I still want that kind of natural look to my skin, and that sometimes includes spots. But do whatever you're comfortable with. If you would rather cover them up, then you do you, boo. Moving back to underneath the eyes, I'm going in with a tiny bit of concealer and I'm blending that out as best as I can with the sponge, and then I'm using the heat from my fingers to really work that into the skin. Using a translucent powder, I'm just going to set that to avoid it creasing, and I'm also going to go around the nose and the areas I know that are going to grease up immediately. Next, I'm using one of my new favourite products, the NYX Wonder Stick, and just look at it. Oh, it's beautiful. I'm going underneath my cheekbones, around the forehead, underneath the jaw, and the sides of the nose. It blends out absolutely beautifully, and I really like the colour of it. For blush, I went for more of a natural flush colour, and I applied this to my cheeks, and also a tiny bit to the tip of my nose as well. So Ruth also has these cute little freckles, so I definitely wanted to nick them for this look. So I used a couple of brown eyeliners because freckles are never just one colour, and I just dotted them across the nose to begin with. And then I used the heat of my fingers to melt that product into the skin, and then I also went over the top with the sponge that I used to apply the CC cream with to tone them down a little bit further with any of that remaining product on the sponge. Then I also picked up the freckles on other points of the face as well, and this is another reason I didn't really bother covering the spots, because I just kind of covered them with these fake freckles and just went around them, and it kind of just takes your eye away from them. You just kind of accept them as freckles instead of spots. The brows she had were quite bold, but also kind of soft. They didn't look sculpted or super clean, so I decided to just fill mine in with a powder and not be too perfect with them. Powder products often give this kind of hazy finish around the edges, so try to keep that if you can and don't try to touch it with too much concealer. Moving on to the eyes, I was pretty concerned when I was watching the film because I was like, they're so simple, how am I gonna create an entire look out of this? But it's fine, I'm super happy with how all of this turned out regardless of how simple it looks. So for the eyes, all I did was apply a primer and added a base colour over top of that to cover up all of that veinage going on. Then I added a super thin line of black eyeshadow really close to the lashes. In the film it is barely there, so you don't want to use something really harsh like a gel or a liquid. I definitely go with a powder product. And then I finished off the eyes with some mascara, which I'm not even sure she was wearing in the film to be honest, but I can't not. This look right here, by the way, without the lipstick, super cute. I don't do cute very often, but I fell in love with this look and it's definitely just entered into my rotation of makeup looks I'm going to wear for the rest of time. For the lips, again, they were bold but soft. So I applied a red lipstick. Any red will do, but if you want to be super spot on, I'd probably lean more towards an orangey red. And then I softened the edges with my finger, and then I blotted some more of that colour off onto a tissue. Moving on to the hair, we're going for a typical 1940s do with the set and the pinned up sides. I'm going to be doing this with heat, but I'm going to show you how I would do it with Velcro rollers as well. You want to take a section that's the width of the roller, comb it out and pull it out at this kind of angle, keeping the tension nice and tight. Then place the roller on the hair shaft, make sure you get the ends right in Velcro, and then roll it back down the hair. And then if you had the right angle, it should sit on its base like this. And you definitely want to do this on damp hair, because then when it dries, it's going to dry in this shape, and then you'll have the lift and the curl that you want. So for the pattern, you want to think about where you want the hair to sit, right? So I know I want the sides of my hair to go up and back. I want my fringe to go off to the right, and I want a bit of lift at the back as well. So you can see at the back here, I've set it all backwards because that's going to give me that lift I want. Then at the sides, you want to go in with the same pattern, but think about the shape of the head and how the hair sits. You'd want it to go this way instead of backwards. For this front section, I know I'm going to be lifting it and pinning that up, so I'm going to use my set to help with that, and I'm going to go in this direction instead. Same thing on the other side, and then you want to set your fringe whichever way you want to wear it. Then you just want to leave that to cool, and then when you take all the clips out, you should have something big and poofy going on like this. You can smooth this down with your hands or some kind of hair serum or oil, and then we're going to add some back combing. So we're first going to add some at the back here, because back combing gives a good base for you to put your pins into, and it also just keeps the style in place and adds a butt ton of volume. Smooth over the edges with the comb, and then you just want to pin it where you want it. Then the same with the front section, you want to add that back combing for the volume and so that that wad of hair stays together. Smooth over the front of the hair and then pin it where you want it. And then that's the first look. So next I decided, since the film goes between the 1940s and the present day in order to tell the story, I would also do that with the makeup and turn this cute 1940s inspired daytime look into a heavier, more modern Emma kind of look, you know? So first I wanted to intensify my contours, so I'm going back in with that NYX stick. Then I'm also going to define my eyes a little bit more just by bringing a brown eyeshadow through the socket. I also want to make that liner thicker, so I went in with a black tarte clay pot. And then I went over the top of that with a glitter liner, which is so pretty. I want to wear this every day for the rest of my life. Next, I applied some corner lashes and some mascara for some extra drama. Then I always like to have something smoky going on underneath my eyes, so I'm just going to go in with a mixture of these two brown shadows. And of course I'm going to go in with Mary-Lou, my just greatest highlight ever, as an intense highlight underneath the brow, inner corners of the eye, nose, and basically just the high points of the face. Then I'm going to finish off with some mascara on the bottom lashes because I obviously forgot about them. Then I'm applying a matte red lipstick. And I had every intention of turning the skin into a full coverage look, but I am just so in love with the skin and the freckles that I couldn't do it, so I just decided to leave it instead. But then that's it. 2 1940s inspired makeup looks, and a hair tutorial. Again, the link to the trailer of the film that inspired this video will be linked in the description, so go and check that out. This is the first time I've ever worked with anyone to promote a film, so I'm pretty excited about it because films are a really big part of my life, so this is quite a big deal for me. So please let me know what you think of these looks and this video, and thank you guys for watching. Bye.